What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. This is your, I don't know, what we talking about? Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, let the diva know you stopped by. We was off yesterday. We came in. Did y'all like that video yesterday? Me taking all that damn makeup off my face? That was so funny to me. I put so much on. I put it in the little thing. Anyways, I didn't think it was that much, but then when I started spreading it, I was like, bitch, take this shit off your face. So, but thank you for all the suggestions. I'm gonna look up the peels that y'all talking about. Somebody said to come up look up some peels, and I'm gonna look up something else y'all talk. Oh, some Fenty foundation y'all said to look up. It's really nice, hydrating. Yes, because diva needs hydrating. We love a good hydrated face. What else is going on? Yesterday was Dr. Martin Luther King, observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And, you know, it was funny because the FBI tweeted and was like, in observance and all this nice stuff about Dr. Martin Luther King. And I was like, wait a minute. And I leave it up to the internet, baby. Leave it up to the people on the internet to remind you when you didn't make the best decision, honey. They posted the letter that was sent to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., okay? A letter that they sent to him basically asking him to kill himself. So how all of a sudden, that's what they do. They switch the bad guy, and then they want to switch the narrative or the history as it relates to the person. And it's like, you didn't love Martin Luther King when he was telling people to rise up. And it's funny because, you know, they keep promoting the I Have a Dream speech because it was really a nice speech, right? This is like the kumbaya, please accept me kind of speech. And Martin Luther King was like, there was other speeches that came after that that were calling for people for the equality, not. He was like, you know, basically not the I Have a Dream speech is basically like, we want to be treated equally. But you know what we failed to do was say, hey, not only do we want to be able to sit at the same diner with you, we want to be able to pay for the food too. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, not only sit next to you, but pay. I need to be able to pay for this food that I'm about to order. You understand what I'm saying? So I think with that message, shortly after that, it was a message of economic growth and economic equality. And it's not like, you know, and then he like, you know, I posted the speech in the community section. Go listen to that speech. That speech. And then there's other speeches that he had afterwards that were just like, no, we tired of these white people. Like, I'm all for the nonviolence. I'm still about nonviolence. But y'all gonna keep having violence until y'all get your shit straightened out. Because the riot only comes from people not being happy. And until the people are happy, there will continue to be riots. You cannot tell people not to riot who are unhappy. That's what he was basically saying. Like, I could be nonviolence all day, but it's a lot of mad niggas out here. And they mad, and they gonna keep rioting and keep doing what you don't, it's keep acting outside of, why is my mirror switched up? I hate that. Who gets in my fucking car and messes with my goddamn mirrors? What was I saying? Yeah, so it's like, you can't tell people not to be mad about being treated unfairly. He got on the allies. Y'all allies all day until it comes to getting uncomfortable, because y'all love to say, and that's what I say about, I used to have this thing that I said about white women who have black boyfriends, how the only time you hear them yelling is when they're hopping up and down on black dick. But when it's time to yell and scream when a nigga gets shot in the back of the head, honey, they go silent, baby. They go silent. They disable their Facebook pages. They don't want to say nothing. Like I said, the only time they hollering is when they hopping up and down on black. You understand me? So it's the same thing. Oh, we allies. No, you not. Not when it comes time to move into action. Not when it comes time to speak up. Not when it comes time to stand on the front lines. Now it's all of a sudden, oh well, okay, well, you know, we don't want you guys, you know, just remember what Dr. Martin Luther King said. Girl. Anyways, so I watched Love and Hip Hop Miami last night. I said I wasn't going to review it, but that shit was so hilarious. It was so damn funny. Joy is hilarious to me. Joy is funny. And then I watched Love and Hip Hop New York, and it seemed like it was a longer episode for some reason, because it kept going. I was like, when is this motherfucker going to end? But Safari and Erica got to play house on TV. They got to get married on TV. Safari was crying like a baby. I don't know whether to believe it or not. I just don't believe them. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't believe it. He buys the best gifts though. He bought her a bracelet with her father's signature. You know, her father's passed, and he bought her a bracelet with his signature on, his signature. Like it's, you know, it's stylized with his signature. And it's a bracelet she can wear, and it's really nice. Like, very thoughtful gifts. Like, he gives really great. I was like, Safari gives good gifts. Joe told Jonathan and Tahiri. Did he tell Tahiri to mind her business? He told all of them to mind their business. Why don't y'all just mind your business? Period. And Jonathan was like, that's my friend. I'm not minding my business. And that's the thing. A lot of people see Joe should know better than that. He's old enough to know better that no one is going to allow, or not even allow, because no one can allow for somebody to do nothing that they don't want to do. But no one is going to not vocally protest and let you know when y'all ain't doing right. You can call it mind your business or whatever, and you can tell somebody to mind their business, but they really don't have to mind their business, especially when it comes to their friends. And Jonathan, this is a new friendship for him and Sin. He calls her best friend, but they're seen a lot all the time. I see them all the time doing karaoke and shit online in the Explore page. I see them all the time kicking, so they have a good time together. And so Jonathan feels protective over her, and men, I find, don't like it when other men come to the defense of a woman who's being mistreated by that man. No one likes to be, especially by another man, because with a woman you can say some slick shit like, you bitter bitch and you just single, da 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 da. But with a man, you have to approach it differently. You can't tell a man he's bitter, because that's not the trope for a man who's protesting mistreatment of a woman. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, you bitter, you don't have a man, you just need some dick, you know, all of that. You can't do that when a man holds you accountable for mistreating a girl or a woman. And Joe was like, Joe looked nice, so I was like, yes, Joe, he looked very nice. Tahiri looked nice too. They both look nice. But Tahiri, she's like, oh my God, they're going to think we're coupled up. How would they think that, Tahiri? Y'all not coupled up. Why would anybody think that? So when Jonathan and Yandy showed up, they looking like, because Yandy, Jonathan, and Sin are all like clicked up. They clicked up together. And let me drink some of my coffee. I'm telling you, put a cinnamon stick for prosperity in your coffee in the morning. They sell them by the bags. They sell them by the bags, like cinnamon sticks by the bags in the grocery store next to my house for like $7, like a big bag of cinnamon sticks. I love it. Just put one in your coffee. Pour your coffee over the cinnamon stick, put your creamer, everything, saying it's just that. And cinnamon is for prosperity, so just bring it. You understand? Anyway. So yeah, so men act different when another man tells them. That's why it's so important for men to hold other men accountable, or for men to make space for a man to hold himself accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Stop bringing your mama to the time where you're supposed to be confronted with your infidelities. Don't bring your mama, Dennis. Stand up in your shit, right? Because it's easy to dismiss a woman. It's very hard to dismiss a man with the same tactics that you use to dismiss a woman when she's protesting that you're not treating her friend right. Joe cut his eyes at Jonathan and said, why don't y'all just mind your business? I said, oh, okay. So the wedding was cute. They were crying. I don't know. It's not, like I said, it looks like they're playing house to me. It just really looks like it's all to play house. And we'll see how everything works out. And I just said to myself, I hope that this lasts a long time, like a good amount of time for people not to say, see, I told you. You know what I'm saying? At least give them at least 6 years. I hope they stay together for at least 5. I'll give them 5 to 7 years. 10 years, I don't see it at all. I don't see Safari Samuels and Erica Mena together in 10 years. And that's unfortunate, and maybe that's my cynicism, and that's just, I just don't see it. The way that the world moves, I just don't see it. And like I said, people deserve to be happy for as long as they're happy, and I hope it lasts them at least 10 years. I hope they I don't know. I just don't see it. She's a Scorpio, he's a Cancer. I don't know. I mean, they might with the Cancers, help, but that Scorpio, I mean, let me shut up. They'll be together forever. Forever, happily ever after, and all this other shit. Child. Then Brad and Jen. Okay, let me finish talking about Love and Hip Hop New York. What else happened on Love? That's about it for Love and Hip Hop. It was just all about, they went to the what do you call the bachelorette parties. Went there, had a fight as normal, as I guess that's like the rite of passage. Have a fight at the the bachelorette party, and then show up the next day. And it was nice. She looked nice. He looked nice. Safari is a very handsome man. He was like, thank you for taking me seriously when nobody else would. Yeah, because we don't. What else happened? And then Miami was real funny to me. I laughed a lot because Joy is real funny, but Joy and Briscoe. Now Briscoe, he's okay. Last night I was saying he was cute, but then I watched it again. I was like, he's not that cute, but he is okay. He's okay looking. And Joy thinks he's handsome. And he and Joy were on a date, and Joy was like, I really need to get out. I'm glad that we on this date because, messing with Trick all these years, and he's always in my business, and da-da-da-da. And then she was like, well, he has this new girlfriend, and so hopefully he would leave me alone. And he was like, and her name, Nikki Natural, and she was like, I'm not gonna hate on the girl. Like, she really wasn't. Like, that's why I was like, Joy is a real type of chick, because she was really not hating on the girl with no shade. And then dude was like, what? Oh, I used to mess around with her. We was kicking it, all right? So Joy went back, and she was like, so Joy went over Trick's house, and he made her some kind of look like a turkey pot pie, but looked like it had shrimps on top. I was like, let me find out Trick Daddy Dollar, he can cook. Honey, he just got in trouble on the streets. He was sniffing cocaine off the damn steering wheel. That's not funny. You got lupus. Can you sniff coke and have lupus? What the hell is wrong with you? Your health. What is wrong with these niggas? Anyways, honey, cocaine is a hell of a drug. That's what Rick James said, bitch. So Joy was like over Trick's house, and Trick was like, he made her something to eat, but she did not know that Nikki was there. Now, Nikki was there because Trina had a showcase, and he told her to go to the showcase and perform, because Trina's doing this thing where, she kind of wants to find somebody to manage, to put on, which I think is good, but you don't have no business sense, and we figured that out last night. And Nikki Natural was mad because of the way she acted. Trina asked her to battle at this little showcase, and she was like, I'm not battling, I'll win every bitch, and da-da-da. And so she was mad, and she felt like Joy and Trina were targeting her because that's Trick's girl or whatever. Now, she ain't sleeping with Trick. She said she's been celibate for 2 years. So when Briscoe said to Joy, me and her was kicking it, she was like, what you mean kicking it? Like, how long ago was this? And he was like 2 weeks ago. Joy was like, wait, so y'all was kicking it, like trying to insinuate y'all was fucking? And then he was like, looking like he didn't deny it, right? So Joy was like, bitch, wait a minute, because this bitch is telling Trick that she's celibate. Now, would y'all tell your ex-husband, or he's still her damn husband legally, but would y'all tell your ex-husband if you found out his new chick and you have no problem with the girl, you have no problem, she like, and the way that Joy was like, I'm not hating on the girl, she's a pretty girl, and this and that, that's Trick's new girl, but if she's fucking other niggas around the town, you got Trick looking crazy, telling people you celibate, and you around here screwing people, are y'all gonna tell your ex-husband? Would y'all? It depends. But see, the way that Trick and Joy's relationship is, it makes sense that she would go and tell him, because they still have a very friendly relationship. It's more like they're really, really friends. And it's funny because it's like they're friends that get on each other's nerves. They're family, you know what I mean? And she just doesn't want to be married to him anymore, and I don't blame her. And he needs to give her a divorce and be done with it. So she went to Trick's house, and she didn't know that Nikki was there, and Nikki comes out, and Joy is sitting at the table. So Joy's sitting at the table. Y'all know Joy's very calm. I've never seen Joy raise her voice, and even when she does raise her voice, it's still very calm. Like her and Trina, they yell, but it's calm. I don't know what that is. But she's sitting on the table, and then she was like, Joy, something. She said something to Joy, and then she was like, huh? Joy was like, because Joy was like, y'all didn't tell me. She told Trick, you didn't tell me old girl was going to be here. This is kind of intimate. I'm not trying to do this, right? And he was like, no, because she feels like y'all targeting her, so I really want to straighten this thing up, because this is my girl, you my ex-wife or wife or whatever, and I really want to straighten this up. He was really trying to straighten it up, like really trying. But the girl was getting fly with Joy, and Joy was like, oh, I didn't come here for this. And Joy was like, okay. At one point the girl was like, ain't that your name, Joy? And she was like, okay, see, like, I'm not about to do this with this child. I'm not about to do this. And Joy was trying to be calm until the girl came outside of her mouth to Joy, and Joy was like, well, look, so what's up? Because it's some other shit going around. Like, Joy was like, okay, you're not about to sit up here and do this to me. So what's up with you and Briscoe? And the girl was like, what do you mean? What are you bringing up Briscoe for? Well, he was telling me that y'all was smashing 2 weeks ago. What's up? Since you over here trying to get smart with me, bitch. But she didn't say that. That's her demeanor. She was like, girl. She was like, what does that have anything to do? So she started getting loud with Joy. Trick was like, get your raggedy ass out this house. He kicked her out the house. Joy was sitting at the table, was like, get out of my house, bitch. This is my house. The girl was like, no, it's not. The bank owns it. She was like, bitch, this is my house. Get the fuck out of my house. Man, that shit was so funny. So then they showed the girl. This was the funniest shit. They showed the girl sitting at a bar. I don't know who this bartender was, but she walked up. She looked like Jasmine Masters. The girl walked up and the bartender. She was like, girl, you look like you've been having a bad day. The girl was like, Trick kicked me out of the house, girl. I said, when I tell you I slid off the couch. Oh my God, that shit was so funny to me. She was like, you look like you having a bad day. She just blurted out, Trick kicked me out the house. Put me out. Yes, he put you out and left Joy there. And then Trick was like, so what am I going to believe? Am I going to believe my ex-wife, or I'm going to believe this girl that I've only known 10 minutes? I've known Joy 20 years. And so the girl ends up confronting Briscoe. And she was like, why are you telling people we out here having sex? We're not doing that. You need to straighten that up right now. So Joy was like, well, I'm the one that said it, because Joy was there. She was like, I'm said it, but when I said what was y'all doing, was y'all smashing, you never did clarify it. You left, and see, that's what niggas do. You speak in riddles, nigga. Somebody's gonna misunderstand you. Somebody's gonna miscommunicate some situation, and you might get confronted about it. He was like, no, he never did have sex with her. So she was telling the truth. But the way that he told it, Joy was like, look, I'm about to tell Trick that y'all out here screwing. So that was it with that. So then Trina, she meets with Julian. And, you know, the rumors going around that Julian took $300 from her. $300,000 from her. And she confronts him. So this is the scene. Remember I told you the other day, this was the scene where they was like all out of their cars. The lights was on and stuff. Trina looks so pretty. She had on all white. She looks so pretty. And Julian first apologizes by not calling her. He says, I apologize, I didn't call you when your mother died. Now that looks even shadier. Like, you're already being accused of taking money from her, which it seemed like he got a deal. Someone invested in him, and Trina thought that it was based on him managing her, that they gave him money, and she assumed that the money that was given to him was based on him managing her, and therefore that money should have been put into her project, and he took the money for something else. Now, I can't really say, like, I would need to see, like, this is a real case where you're like, it was a misunderstanding. Did Trina misunderstand that the money that he was getting as an investment was supposed to be spent on her? Why? I don't understand why she thought somebody would give Julian money to manage her and not give her the money and then have her manager manage the money. Like, I don't get it, and I don't get where the misunderstanding is. And you know, Trina's album was pulled, and that's messed up because, you know, and she was like, people were waiting for this album. Were they, Trina? I don't know if they were, but, you know, and she had Nicki Minaj on. Remember that whole thing with Nicki Minaj not really promoting it? Did she pay Nicki Minaj? You know, were people getting paid? And she was like, producers weren't getting paid, so they wanted their shit pulled. And I don't know what Julian thought. Like, who did you think was going to pay these people? How did you think these people were going to get paid? What did you think that this money was for? Did you use Trina's name to get this investment from someone? And why didn't you pay anybody? And he was like, look at the paperwork, it don't even have your name on it. So I'm like, okay, so to me that translates in you did a side deal with whoever that gave you this money, and Trina thought it was for her. I don't know. I'm confused, because to me, Trina doesn't explain herself. She's not, that's what somebody said, she's not a businesswoman. She acts like she's a boss and a boss, but you're not handling your own business right. Like somebody said, that was your baby. You should not have handed your baby. If this was your baby, you should not have handed your baby off to someone else to take care of. You should have waited until that baby was walking to let go of it, and then say, because now who is to blame for this? You can't put it all on Julian. Now, I don't know, like, I'm trying to figure out, what did Julian do? Is it an assumption? Is it a miscommunication? Did Trina think that this money was for her? Why did she think this money was for her? We're missing pieces of this. And it's a serious thing for somebody to feel like somebody took $300,000 from you. And then the way that Trina was in the interview was like, I don't care if it was for managing me, or I don't care if it was money given to him on the strength of my name. That some of that money should have been used to promote my project. I don't know, Trina, and I want to believe it, but it just seems like he did a to me, off base, just knowing record industry niggas and music industry niggas, he did some side deal, and it didn't. I don't know if it didn't work out, but that's what it sounds like to me. He did a side deal, got some money, the money that was for Trina. I don't know where that money is, or why she thought that money was for him, or why his name is the only thing on there. Because the only reason why his name is on there is because he did a side deal. That didn't have anything to do with Trina. And maybe he told Trina that these people was going to give him some money. Anyways, so Julian, he goes to Amara La Negra's, where is he going? He went somewhere with her. Julian was there, and her boyfriend was there. Now, Shay and Amara La Negra are sisters, because Amara goes with Shay's brother. Honey, if I was Amara's friend, mother, whoever, cousin, whoever, I would tell her, get the fuck away from that family, because Shay with her block jaw and her brother with his block head are two controlling people who want to tell Amara how to run her life, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Shay act like Amada can't be friends with the Angry Birds girl. What's her name? JoJo? Joy? What's her name? JoJo. You act like the girl, and the girl was like, yeah, I missed, that was my friend. That was really my friend, and I missed that girl, and there's nothing wrong with me saying that I missed that girl. But I'm not trying to be friends with her. And Shay didn't want to hear none of it. And Shay got up and started walking away. Take your big mouth ass somewhere else. I was so mad at them. And then her brother, who is Amada's boyfriend, is telling Amada that, you know, I don't like the way your manager is managing you. You should be farther along than you are. But I want to have kids. And she's looking like, I'm not about to have no babies until I have a street named after me, baby. Until I get a Grammy or something. I'm not having no babies. And he's really pressuring Julian like, oh, okay, so she's over there talking to Julian. And she was like, you know, it's a lot of shit going on. I really want my career to be in the place it's not where it's supposed to be and this and that. And so her boyfriend comes over and he was like, well, baby, let two men talk. Two men can't sit together and talk about me without me being there, especially when it comes to my business and my career. No, we're going to sit here and talk together. You can back me up, but I'm not about to, we're not playing that game. I was like, why did she get up? I guess a lot of women do a lot of bending and folding for a nigga so he can feel like a man. If you need a woman to be suppressed in order for you to feel like a man, you ain't a fucking man. You're not. You're not. You're nothing. You're not a human. If you need someone else to be put down or bend in a way to make you feel anything, you're not anything. You should be a man or be a woman without anybody making you, oh, he makes me feel like a woman. Bitch, you should feel like a woman on your goddamn own. Nigga, you should feel like a man on your own. You should not feel like, oh, somebody makes me feel like a, no. No one should define your person. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? She got up and walked away. He's sitting there arguing with Julian, telling Julian he wants Amada to have a baby. He was like, no, she ain't having no baby. She got a career. No, she's not. I'll make sure that doesn't happen. That's what Julian was saying. And I was like, I didn't like the fact that two men were sitting there talking about this woman's career and her boyfriend, not husband. You're not married. You haven't proposed marriage. Y'all not even engaged. And I assume that Amada is a type of woman who would like everything in order. Goddamn, she takes her mom everywhere she goes. Her mother is not going to allow that shit at all. At all. And I was with her. I was like, why is she, I don't know. Anyway, so they talking. Julian was like, I'm not letting that happen. Well, I want babies. And you're not really doing anything with her career. And I want her to have kids. Why would you want her to have kids? You met this woman because through Shay, you met her. She's on this show. You know she's trying to be a crossover into the American market. And she hasn't done it the way that she wants to do it. But you want to start having babies? And she's completely against it. And so you go to her manager and tell the manager, we want to start a family. He's like, no, we're not about to do that. We're trying to get her career off the ground. That's going to be a distraction. And it is. No matter how you slice it, I don't care. It is. Especially she's not, like, it was different because with Cardi, I was like, bitch, you really fucking up. But she hasn't missed a step. But she was already established in the game. Like, everybody already loved her. Amada's not there yet. And you cannot tell that woman and act like, I didn't like that at all. I left a bad taste in my mouth. And she was like, all of a sudden felt like she was about to pass out or whatever. And Trina was yelling at Julian, like they mad at Julian. And I'm trying to figure out, I really want to understand that story. I guess Trina will talk about it more because I was just like, this, honey, get your ass out the street. I just didn't like that man with that damn bowler hat on top of his head, looking like a damn clown. Up there with a red bowler hat, a red leather jacket, red leather pants. Just, Amada needs to run away from MJ, whatever the fuck his name is, and Shay. She needs to run far away, because you got a controlling friendship. She's telling you, if you're gonna be friends with somebody, you can't be friends with me. JoJo didn't do nothing to you, Shay. Like, you just take that flavor of love mentality and get it the fuck on somewhere. That shit is dumb as hell. You mad at everybody for everything, every little thing. You mad. When are you gonna be happy? When are you gonna smile? We ain't seen your big mouth smile. I was tired of that. I was like, Amada better get the fuck away from that brother and sister team, because they're both controlling. You can't control this woman's career. You can't control who she's going to be friends with. And that's it. I was so mad at them. What else happened? Oh, a fall from grace. I guess we could talk about that a little bit. Did y'all watch it, Tyler Perry? Now, only reason why I watched it was because everybody was talking about it, how bad it was. And I watched it, and it's 2 hours. It's on Netflix. It's a Tyler Perry film. This is coming off the heels of him saying he doesn't have a writing room. He doesn't use writers. And, this is work ethic and all this crazy, stupid shit. And it just speaks to the collective saying that Tyler Perry needs a broader scope when it comes to telling stories, because all of his stories have the same theme. And they said that they filmed this movie in 5 days, and you can kind of tell. You had extras in the movie who were eating fake food. You could see scripts on tables, and they filmed it in 5 days. And so, a lot of people were talking about the continuity of the film. They were talking about, just a lot of the different things that happen in films where they miss the final edit. You could see the scripts on the page, it happens all the time. Remember when it happened on Game of Thrones? There was a water bottle in the scene next to someone's chair, a water bottle, right? So a lot of the times people miss things, and you have issues with continuity, and it just left Tyler Perry open for more criticism on the heels of him saying that he doesn't use a writing room. He doesn't have any other writers, and he's the only writer himself. And it's evident. However, the movie, Felicia Rashad, what's her name? What's her name? Let me see who's in Fall from Grace so I could tell you. It's raining. A Fall from Grace. Tyler Perry. Search the web. It's Tyler Perry, Mashad Brooks, Crystal Fox, Brescia Webb, Cicely Tyson, Felicia Rashad. And it, to me, it's just basically about this older woman who works at a bank. She meets this guy through her friend. Her friend says, get out. You just got a divorce. Get out, go to this art gallery. She meets this guy. He has this art show. He's a nice artist, very, very sexy. He's an artist, he takes her out to dinner, and they're talking this and that, and they start, a love affair. And she's he's breaking her back out. She's a grandmother here. She's getting her back broke out, got her legs to the moon. And, he comes up to her job, and he visits her, flowers and everything. Baby, one day she gets up and she goes to work. Honey, I'm not going to tell you. It was good. I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you up to that part, because that's typically Tyler Perry shit. I'm not going to give you, but I knew it. It's like, and it's not even to say I knew what was going to happen, because you're going to know what's going to happen in all of Tyler Perry's films, because they all written the same. A woman being done wrong by a man, and then, her hopefully coming out on the other side. But out of 10, I will give it, just the story itself, I will give it a 7, 8. Because I think if the characters were developed more, it would have been a better film, but they're not. And they're not because the writing is very linear. And again, it's just a testament to Tyler Perry's you know, you're the only one writing. We can tell you're the only one writing. And I think, I mean, it wasn't a bad film. It wasn't awful. And I'm not really a Tyler Perry fan, but everybody was talking about, oh my God, it's so awful. It's so awful. And I watched it. I was like, this movie is not bad. I was actually looking like, okay, what's going to happen next? You know what I'm saying? But it was me like figuring out like, oh, bitch, I already know. I already know what's going on with this nigga. I already knew it. But you already know what's going to happen because it's a Tyler Perry film. So it doesn't take much to know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? What else happened? That's it, y'all. I think that's it for right now. Tyler Perry. I do want to talk about the concept of twin flames. We know the concept and the theory behind soulmates. I am one who do not believe that your soulmates are only, I think I've talked about it on here before, but I do not believe in romanticizing these theories because I believe it leads you into a space of needless suffering. And I think that soulmates, people's soul meet and mate on different levels. And I think when you use the word mate, that makes it seem like it should be the opposite gender if you're heterosexual, or, you know, this is someone that should be a romantic connection with. And I think it leaves a lot of people on a dead road talking to a brick wall. You know what I mean? And the concept of twin flames is another thing that is highly romanticized, where people are like, I'm looking for my soulmate, I'm looking for my twin flame. And I was talking to this guy online yesterday, going back and forth, who says he's had the experience. And I was thinking to myself, I really want to talk about this and kind of like unpack it. You know, that's the word. You want to unpack it because I do not believe in the theory of twin flames. I do not believe that, well, it's like your soul is split in two. And when you connect to that soul, that person with this identical soul as you, then it's like a comfort level that comes across you. You know the person. It's like you already know the person. But a lot of people are left in toxic situations trying to hold on to a twin flame idea or to a soulmate idea. And like I said, I believe souls meet on different levels. I believe you can be a soulmate with somebody in passing or having a short conversation with. You're just souls meet on different levels. That's how I feel. But when the twin flame theory, I believe it's something else that's romanticized, and I don't believe that. I'm just very skeptical about the theory. So if you have had what is considered a twin flame experience, and I don't think that, like I was talking back and forth with this guy last night, he was a Scorpio actually, talking back and forth with him, and he was like, and I was thinking like, how can you restrict yourself when an idea that is so chaotic as a twin flame theory, how can you restrict yourself to the idea that it's only romantic or it can only be the opposite sex in a hetero situation, right? Because it's something so chaotic and so out here, there would be no structure to it. Therefore, that means anybody can be a twin flame or your twin flame. It doesn't have to be, oh my God, this guy opened the door for me, we soulmates. You know what I mean? Or, oh my God, him and I are bonding through trauma. He's my soulmate. All right? Any of that kind of shit, and you're like, I'm trying to hold on to this idea. I don't know. So I do want to talk about it. I'm going to do some more research. We can talk about it. Maybe we'll do another at home video, and we can talk about the twin flame theory. Well, we'll see. Today is Tuesday. Y'all have a wonderful day. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. What do we talk about? Fall from Grace, Love and Hip Hop New York, Love and Hip Hop Miami, and the theory of twin flames. All right. Take care of each other. Peace.